poppin' everyone? We are here today with our week 2 battle of the APA versus my boy Gym Leader Gio, coach of the San Francisco GiEnteis, and his mono psychic draft. So should be pretty exciting to verse and play up against. And if you have not seen my team builder video, be sure to check that out. It kind of goes through my thought process of how I counter teamed versus his draft, his mono psychic plus Ditto draft. As you can see, he brought Celebi, Metagross, Ditto, Mega Medicham, Hoopa Unbound, and Victini. So kind of some of the mons I expected for sure, like Victini, Hoopa Unbound, Mega Medicham. 3 really solid wall breakers that can function really well together. And then the Ditto, which is nice for the purpose of, I guess, stopping sweepers and counter sweeping them, or just being able to switch into a type that he's weak against and resist the type as well. Then he has Metagross, which I think is really good versus my DNC and Celebi, which is another great bring as well. Those two kind of slots I figure can work with any mon that he brings. But he did decide to bring these 6, and that's pretty threatening overall. Like, the cool thing about his draft is with all of the psychic typings he has versus opponents that only have like 1 or 2 checks to them, because their typings are so diverse and his is so centralized, it just makes his team really, really threatening, especially with the mons that he has. So very excited to show you guys this game. My goal going into this match was to sort of bring in Drapion safely, because that is a choice banded Drapion. And I just looked at that and I looked at his team. I'm like, yeah, this is my win con. This is my biggest win con. I need this thing to put in work. And if I can also make other Pokemon work too, that's all the better. Like, for instance, the Golurk. I have a really fun Golurk set with Power Up Punch and Rock Polish with the Z move, which is Ghost TMZ with Phantom Force. Hits extremely hard, and nothing that he has on his team can really switch into it well at all. So yeah, I think if we can make some of those Pokemon work, that'd be great. And I guess my overall lead, just based on team preview, was probably going to be Mega DNC. I figured that, you know, if I can get off the Mega Evolution Protect, stop him from getting up rocks, I can sort of scout turn 1 to see what he's got. And I think, you know, overall hasn't really failed me. I did that in week 1, so I figured that I'd do it again and see what went there, what went from there, I guess, and kind of played my win conditions properly and stuff like that. So let's just get right into it and see what he's got here. So I figured that he might lead with like Mega Medicham Fake Out maybe, or I don't know, like Victini's U-Turn perhaps is another option for him. So yeah, that was kind of my my first impressions of, you know, his team and stuff. But he decides to challenge me, and this may or may not be my first mistake facing that mono psychic squad. So let's see what happens. He leads Celebi, so I'm like, okay, not bad. This could be a U-Turn set, could be Scarfed, could be some kind of heat. Gio likes to make plays, I also like to make plays, and the combination of that, you know, that's gonna make for some fantastic battling here. So I'm gonna go for the Protect, right? As you can see, he decides to go for the Giga Drain turn 1, so I'm like, okay, Giga Drain. I don't know what set he is still, but I'm gonna switch out here into my Drapion, which will probably take every hit relatively well from this thing. He clicks Rocks turn 2, so like he made a nice play there, knowing that I'd switch out, so not bad at all. But I'm gonna make a little play of my own here, predicting him to go into that Ditto to take the Crunch or the knockoff from my Drapion. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake on the Celebi, and I do a considerable amount of damage here. And now, like, I'm thinking, okay, he has my set. He might go for a knockoff, expecting my Gliscor to come in with the Toxic Orb and whatnot. I'm gonna go into my Mega DNC, as he does go right for the knockoff. He could have easily Earthquake there, but I figured that he might want to make the play to go for the knockoff on the Gliscor, because I know that he makes plays. He's gonna go back into Celebi as I actually double switch out into my Drapion, sort of anticipating a switch there. And I do take a little bit of rocks damage, but he is gonna save Celebi, sack the Ditto, which is already kind of weakened a lot, so he will sack that Pokemon there. As I go for the knockoff, getting rid of that, not wanting to sack anything else that's healthier, and get rid of the Choice Scarf, so that's cool. He goes into Victini, and I'm like, okay, Victini is in. Drapion's my win condition. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to stay in on a Victini if it could just V-create at me. So I'm going to go into my Mega DNC, right? As he goes to the sub, so he just subs straight up on my Drapion, thinking that I'd switch, I guess. So good play on his part. I'm thinking to myself, what does he have that can OHKO DNC? Even a Bolt Strike doesn't have a really great chance of doing that either. I break the sub with Power Gem so that I can get rid of that, and he actually whips out the Hidden Power Steel on Victini, so that's nice. Of course, that gets rid of my DNC, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Leftovers sub with HP Steel. Probably, I don't know what else he could have had. Maybe like a mix set or something with V-Create. But I go into Gliscor because I don't think he'd have Glaciate on this kind of set. And he is forced out here into Celebi. Now, my Gliscor is actually a Curse Gliscor. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, but I haven't. This is my first time using it. I go for the Curse, attack raise, defense raise, get that Toxic Orb activated. And he goes for the U-turn. So like he's probably threatened out by this Gliscor, not wanting me to stay in and set up and roost and whatnot. Because I'll be slower, he can't really get much damage off on me then. And he goes into Mega Medicham as I get off another Curse on the Celebi, anticipating sort of him not to be able to do anything with it. Poison Heal activates once again. I'm +2 right now. I know that I can take Ice Punches pretty well. He's gonna Mega Evolve, and I'm sure that he has Ice Punch on his Mega Medicham. I just decided to protect here just to kind of scout and see what he got, what he has on his set. He does have Ice Punch, so it does give me a little bit of that HP back. So I'm back at full health right now. He's gonna go for the Ice Punch. It does about 50%. I go for the Earthquake here. It's not enough to knock it out. However, I am, because of the Poison Heal, I am now in range of not getting knocked out by another Ice Punch, which is amazing. And I just want to guarantee that, so I go for the Protect here so that I can get some more health back, so I can sort of, at the end of this exchange, be at the healthiest I can possibly be. He's going to go for the Ice Punch once again. And I, like, think about it. Huge power Mega Medicham. That thing, like, that thing destroys Lando even after Intimidate. Curse Gliscor eating up the hit, knocking out Mega Medicham, and getting some health back. That's amazing. So he brings in Hoopa Unbound. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I should be protecting here in case he's banned at Hyperspace Fury. Just stay in and figure out, and not protect, because that kind of breaks through my protection, even if he's like Hyperspace Hole. So figured that it was not optimal for me to just, I guess, damage Drapion. I stack Gliscor, then go to Drapion, as he's forced out into Celebi. He does not need that thing anymore, from what I know. So I'm gonna go for the knockoff, get rid of that Pokemon there. And now he's gonna play his win condition. Like, my win condition is Drapion. His win con's gonna be the Victini. So I'm gonna switch out here, out of Drapion, into my Wobbuffet just to sack this Pokemon here and see how much damage it's gonna take. It's my trap card, you already know. I'm gonna go here for, or he's gonna go for the V-Create. And that's gonna 2-hit KO me. Like, I'm like, okay, that does some damage. I'm like almost max Fizz Def. So yeah, that thing definitely is a huge threat to any team for that matter. So yeah, I'm gonna get knocked out here by the V-Create. Wobbuffet goes down, unfortunately. However, I figured, you know, instead of going back to I could go back to Drapion, I could just claim knockouts with that. But I want to see if my Golurk here can get any kind of screen time. He's gonna switch out here out of Victini because my Golurk at this point is probably more than likely gonna be faster than Victini. I predict to switch out, go right for the Rock Polish here on the Hoopa Unbound. And I'm sure he knew that, like, if there was any chance of him surviving, his best play was to go for the Z Snatch. He goes for the Z Snatch, gets the speed boost, and tries to snatch something, I guess. But the only thing he's going to be snatching is this nice Phantom Force. Z Phantom Force, call it the never-ending nightmare. You already know. So Go-Go goes out here with the Golurk, summoning the power of the Phantoms as it's about to go in on this Hoopa Unbound. Look at the arms. Look at the animation. Beautiful. So we're going to be able to OHKO the Hoopa Unbound here. But like, that was some cool tech that he brought. Z Snatch, the nice +2 speed. Pretty cool for sure. And that was definitely a really, probably my favorite turn in this match. Seeing 2 Z moves go right after the other. He brings the Metagross, knows that he can take a hit. I go for the Earthquake. Does not knock him out. He does not knock me out, but I predict the Bullet Punch to come out here to knock me out. So I'm going to try to save a differential if I can. Go into my Jirachi as he does have the Bullet Punch here. He's going to go for that. My Jirachi is actually pretty physically defensive, so it can take hits really well from this thing. It's a weakness policy set, so if he had gone for Earthquake there, I would have taken that and then activated a weakness policy. But I do knock out the Metagross with a Shadow Ball. Last Pokemon that he has here is going to be the Victini, and I can go for the Shadow Ball here. It does a lot of damage, or a decent amount of damage, not too much, but he gets the Spadef drop with the Serene Grace. I think it's like 40% chance. And he's going to go for the V-Create to take out my Jirachi to claim another, I guess, differential point for himself. I guess that was his only option because he, like, both strikes would not knock me out or would not do much damage. I would have knocked him out in the next over the Shadow Ball. He was forced to go for the V-Create there, which lowers his speed and allows me to seal the game and checkmate him with the Drapion and snipe that thing out with a Crunch. And that is going to be GG. It is Emvee. So despite him bringing Mono Psychic, that was a really solid game. For sure. He definitely brought a lot of really cool sets, really fun sets as well. Of course, with the sub Victini with the HP Steel, that was really cool. And the Hoopa Unbound as well. Made some really solid plays overall by stealth rocking turn 2. And, just being able to pressure my team a lot for sure. But I think because we had that Choice Banded Drapion, like I knew in the back of my head, like Choice Banded Drapion, if I can just play well with this thing, it's going to seal the game and sort of win me the game. And it did just that, but definitely a solid match for sure. And I hope you all enjoyed as well, and great game to Gio. And be sure to check him out as well. Check out his channel, do encourage it, of course. A great friend of mine. Chim Chargers picking up another win. So I think now currently we are 2-0. Going to be facing Gator next week as well. So that's going to be a tough one, but yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you all on the next video, and peace.